Yehezkel, or Ezekiel, chapters 44 and 45. And he brought me back to the outer gate of the set-apart place which faces east, and it was shut. And Jehovah said to me, This gate is shut, and it is not opened, and no one enters it, because Jehovah Elohim of Israel has entered by it, and it shall be shut. The prince, as prince, he sits in it to eat bread before Jehovah, coming in by way of the porch of the gate, and going out the same way. And he brought me by way of the north gate to the front of the house. And I looked and saw the esteem of Jehovah filled the house of Jehovah, and I fell on my face. And Jehovah said to me, Son of man, set your heart, and see with your eyes, and hear with your ears all that I say to you concerning the laws of the house of Jehovah and all its Torah. And you shall set your heart to the entrance of the house with all the exits of the set-apart place, and shall say to the rebellious, to the house of Israel, Thus said the Master Jehovah, O house of Israel, enough of all these abominations of yours, that you brought in sons of a foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my set-apart place, to profane it, my house, that you brought near my food, the fat and the blood, and you broke my covenant because of all your abominations. And you did not guard the charge of that which is set apart to me, but you have set others to guard the charge of my set-apart place for you. Thus said the Master Jehovah. No son of a foreigner, uncircumcised in heart or uncircumcised in flesh, comes into my set-apart place, even any son of a foreigner who is among the children of Israel. And the Levites who went far from me when Israel went astray, who strayed away from me after their idols, they shall bear their crookedness. And they were attendants in my set-apart place, as gatekeepers of the house and attendants of the house, slaying the ascending offerings and the slaughtering for the people, and standing before them to attend them. Because they attended to them before their idols, and became a stumbling block of crookedness to the house of Israel, therefore I've lifted my hand in an oath against them, declares the Master Jehovah, that they shall bear their crookedness, and not come near me to serve as my priest, nor come near any of that which is set apart to me, nor into the most set apart place. And they shall bear their shame and their abominations which they've done. Yet I shall make them, those who guard the duty of the house, for all its work and for all that has to be done in it. But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Tzadok, who guarded the duty of my set-apart place when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall draw near to me to serve me, and shall stand before me to bring to me the fat and the blood, declares the Master Jehovah. They shall enter my set-apart place, and they shall draw near to my table to serve me, and they shall guard my charge. And it shall be, when they enter the gates of the inner courtyard, that they put on linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them while they attend within the gates of the inner courtyard or within the house. They shall have linen turbans on their heads, and linen trousers on their bodies. They shall not gird themselves with sweat. And when they go out to the outer courtyard, to the people, they shall take off their garments in which they have attended, and shall leave them in the set-apart rooms, and shall put on other garments. And they shall not set the people apart in their set-apart garments. And their heads they shall not shave, nor shall they let their hair grow long. They shall keep their hair well trimmed. And no priest is to drink wine when he comes into the inner court. And they do not take a wife, a widow, or a divorced woman, but take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or widows of priests. And they are to teach my people the difference between the set apart and the profane, and make them know what is unclean and clean. And they are to stand as judges in a dispute and judge it according to my right rulings. And they are to guard my Torah and my laws in all my appointed times, and set apart my Sabbaths. And they are not to defile themselves by coming near a dead man. Only for a father or mother, for a son or daughter, for a brother or unmarried sister they defile themselves. And after his cleansing they count 7 days for him, and on the day that he comes into the inner court of the set-apart place to attend in the set-apart place, he brings his sin offering, declares the Master Yehovah. And it shall be to them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance, and you give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. The grain offering and the sin offering and the guilt offering they are to eat, and all that is dedicated in Israel is theirs. And the first of all the first fruits of all, and every contribution of all your contributions belong to the priests. And the first of your ground meal you give to the priest, so that a blessing rests on your house. The priests are not to eat any bird or beast found dead or torn to pieces. Chapter 45. And when you divide the land by lot into inheritance, offer a contribution to Yehovah, a set-apart portion of the land, in length 25,000 cubits long, and in width 10,000, this being set apart throughout its border all around. Of this, a square plot is to be for the set-apart place, 500 by 500, with 50 cubits around it for an open space. And from this measure you are to measure 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 wide, and in it is to be the set-apart place, the most set-apart place. This is to be a set-apart portion of the land belonging to the priests, the attendants of the set-apart place, who draw near to serve Yehovah. And it shall be a place for their houses, and a set-apart ground for the set-apart place. And 25,000 cubits in length and 10,000 in width is for the Levites, the attendants of the house, for them for a possession 20 rooms. And give the city as a possession 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 long, beside the contribution of the set-apart portion. It belongs to all the house of Israel. And the prince is to have a portion on one side and the other of the set-apart contribution and of the possession of the city. And bordering on the set-apart contribution and the possession of the city, on the west side westward, and on the east side eastward, and the length alongside one of the portions, from the west border to the east border. Of the land, this is his possession in Israel, and my princes shall no longer oppress my people, and they shall give the land to the house of Israel according to their tribes. Thus said the Master Yehovah, enough, you princes of Israel, put away violence and plundering, and do right ruling and righteousness, and stop your evictions of my people, declares the Master Yehovah. Have right scales and a right ephah and a right bath. Let the ephah and the bath be of the same measure, so that the bath contains 1/10 of a homer, and the ephah 1/10 of a homer. Let their measure be according to the homer. And the shekel is 20 gerahs. Your mina is 20 shekels. 25 shekels, 15 shekels. This is the contribution which you present. You give 1/6 of an ephah from a homer of wheat, and 1/6 of an ephah from a homer of barley. And the law concerning oil. The bath of oil is 1/10 of a bath from a kor. A kor is a homer, or 10 baths. For 10 baths are a homer. And 1 lamb from a flock, from 200, from the watered pastures of Israel, for grain offerings and for ascending offerings and for peace offerings, to make atonement for them, declares the Master Yehovah. All the people of the land are to give this contribution to the prince in Israel, and on the prince are the ascending offerings, and the grain offerings, and the drink offerings, at the festival, the new moons, the Sabbaths, in all the appointed times of the house of Israel. He is to prepare the sin offering, and the grain offering, and the ascending offering, and the peace offerings, to make atonement for the house of Israel. Thus said the Master Yehovah. In the 1st month, on the 1st of the new moon, you are to take a young bull, a perfect one, and shall cleanse the set-apart place. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the doorposts of the house, on the 4 corners of the ledge of the slaughter place, and on the posts of the gate of the inner courtyard. And do the same on the 7th of the new moon for anyone who makes a mistake or is foolish. And you shall make atonement for the house. In the 1st month, on the 14th day of the new moon, you have the Pesach, a festival of 7 days. Unleavened bread is eaten. And on that day, the prince shall prepare for himself and for all the people of the land a bull for a sin offering. And during the 7 days of the festival, he prepares an ascending offering to Yehovah, 7 bulls and 7 rams, perfect ones, daily for 7 days, and a male goat daily for a sin offering. And he prepares a grain offering of 1 ephah for each bull and 1 ephah for each ram, together with a hin of oil for each ephah. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the new moon, at the festival, he prepares like these 7 days, as the sin offering, as the ascending offering, as the grain offering, and as the oil.